It just turned out to be a good turn of events at the moment for India. Pedro Collins is, I think, in the middle of a good spell. And Sanjay Bangar is facing the bulk of his bowling. I thought if Virendra Sehwag was at the other end with Pedro Collins getting that movement and pitching the ball up, he could have got Sehwag in more trouble than what he's getting Sanjay Bangar into, who's looking pretty good. Now we have Sehwag on strike. It'll be interesting to see how Sehwag copes with this particular style of bowling that Pedro Collins has in this spell. He's coming over the wicket, keeping the ball up, getting it to move.
And you would have seen this position before. Pedro Collins played in I suppose, an unofficial test match for the West Indies A against India A in 1998 on this ground, with India chasing over 300 to win in the second innings. They were 189 without loss.
This is how he responds to a delivery. Sanjay Bangar was looking to leave outside the off stump. He nearly got a boundary in the cover.
He just uses the pace of the ball. If he's given any width as he's shown all day, position square of the wicket, it's a highly proficient area for him.
Is he going to pitch the ball up now? Pedro Collins getting some movement for sure. Slow delivery right in the slot, and it finishes just behind the side screen, just in front, he's saying. So another boundary, his 22nd.
Perplexed Carl Hooper. I'm sure he'll be very, very concerned at this point. He picks the length so well, picks the pace. It was a slower delivery indeed, much too full. And this is the first boundary I think that Sehwag has scored down the ground. He's scored too many runs in that area.
That is something that Sehwag would have expected. Typical fast bowler's reply. But the amazing thing with that last shot, also the one he hit for boundaries, his knack of finding the middle of the bat. He was looking to dig the Yorker out. Twice he has looked to do that. One against the spinner, Carl Hooper, when he looked to dig out a full-length delivery. This again, he's sort of digging a Yorker out. It's a slow delivery that's pitched too full. The amazing thing is he finds the middle of the bat every time he does that. .167 for no wicket. Over 8, considering the conditions, has been pretty good for West Indies, and the man there in the picture, John Wright, on the right, we're quite happy, making some happy notes on his laptop. Things have gone well for India. Won the toss, decided to bat first. This is what you look to see. Hey! 168 for no wicket. Captain will be absolutely delighted with the opening start that he's got. One of the problem areas for Indian cricket, the opening stands. Generally they come good in India. It's happened yet again. It's gone up in the air, not quite out the middle of the bat, but still good enough. More than good enough. He's gotten 4 overs behind in the stands. So the sixers now coming in a bit of a rush for India.
And he must be seeing it very, very well at this point. He's taken from just outside the off stump. He couldn't model himself on a better player. He looked so much like Sachin Tendulkar in his stroke play. And his stature as well. And he strikes the ball just as well. Almost decides to do it at will.
As we said, didn't quite come from the middle of the bat. I thought it got the lower and the higher half of the bat.
Well, if he'd middled it, he'd be out in the road somewhere. I think it hit somewhere near the middle.
And with him, that's good enough. Second six for him. He hasn't run about too much, just 11 singles in 123. He's decided to come over the wicket now, Ryan Hines. And he's looked to score a lot in this area. Third man, even against spinners. Ashley Giles looked to bowl this line against Virendra Sehwag, and his reaction to this line has been to make room to play on the offside and go over covers, the lofted extra cover drive. That's what he looks to do. Just wait and see whether he does that against Hines, but for the moment he's gone off strike. He's taken the sensible option, getting Sanjay Bangar on strike. 175 the Indian score. Eight runs of that over, 175 for no wicket, and it's time for some tea. A welcome break for the cricketers, and Sanjay Bangar and Virendra Sehwag still together after 2 sessions on the first day. They scored exactly 100 runs in this session, the post-lunch. It's been good going for India. Virendra Sehwag at his scintillating best, 124 of 180 balls, 22 boundaries and a couple of sixes. And Sanjay Bangar has been there for 2 hours 41 minutes and he scored 44. With the run rate at the moment, something that the captain won't be complaining too much about, it's 3.0 That's quite okay. So tea on day one, India 175 for no wicket. Saurav Ganguly won the...
No, Mike, it hasn't, has it really? Not a lot off the straight for the quicker bowlers. I just noticed Pedro Collins in that last session, he got it to reverse a little bit. I just think he was, when he was up there, when it was full, it was Yorker length. Just started to tail a little bit across the right-handers. So that's something in the back of the mind for Carl Hooper to think about. At the moment, Merv Dillon, just got a couple of slips, third man, and a packed offside field.
First scoring stroke after the tea interval, just a single down to fine leg. Murph. 44 not out. Sanjay Bangar has been very watchful. Sehwag has taken the pressure off him with his quick scoring. Partnership of 176 in just 58 overs and 2 deliveries. Absolutely nothing wrong with that scoring rate.
Well, Mike, you mentioned Carl Hooper will be thinking. So if you're thinking of touching base with us here, website with all the info, www.dorashan.now.com. So you get all the insightful information you want on a tremendous website. Something that Carl Hooper, standing at first slip, or thinking, well, we could do with some good info. And staring down the barrel, none for 176, a score of 450, 500 plus on the cards.
I was making the point earlier on, Danny, that when Mervyn Dillon took the new ball this morning, it seemed as if he went out there with the mindset that it's going to be a long, hard day, and he needs to conserve energy to get through this long, hard day. His effort now is not dissimilar to the effort that we saw with the new ball, which is not what you'd expect. You'd have expected with the new ball this morning, in that first spell, a bit of zip, a bit of effort, you know, run in, try and bowl quickly. Just another single down the fine leg. Certainly cannot afford to go out there with the mindset that it's going to be a long day. You've got to think to yourself, let me try and get some early wickets. Let the afternoon session, the post-tea session look after themselves. Now is the time I have to do something.
Well, I don't know about you, Mikey. You were here in '83 and did very well. I remember Richard Hadley touring with him here in 1988 and rooming with him, saying, look, you've got to make the most of the new ball. You have to use the new ball in conditions here. And when the ball gets older, you've got to be there and there and just be prepared to be patient and in the channel.
Well, that's gone. Earlier on, we saw a short ball being played in the air down to third man. That went through Pedro Collins. This time it has gone a lot squarer. It's an older ball, a lot easier to hit square. 181 without loss.
Hands on hips and hands on chins, because that's not the place to bowl when you've got two slips and a packed onside field, short and wide, and Sayway gave it the treatment. Just what it deserved. Head down, body language not good. It is a long, hard, hot day. 181 without loss.
Another change in the bowling. The captain taking the ball himself again. Had 5 overs, none for 20 earlier on, Carl Hooper. Just one slip and a man at silly point for Carl Hooper's return. Now he has now asked Sarwan to move from silly point to forward short leg. Now Sanjay Banga getting a bit more confident, a bit more adventurous.
I'd have to say I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of Nangamutu. As you rightly pointed out, Mikey, at the top of this session, he was the only one that created an opportunity. We know the Indians love to use their feet. They're so good and so adept at facing lots of different styles of spinners here in the subcontinent.
Straight up in the air and overslip. A foul stroke, but it still gets them 4 runs, India. Carl Hooper stands there, hands akimbo, wondering, when will the breaks come our way?
Well, he gave the teapot, Carl Hooper, but there and again, an old adage, if you're going to flash, flash hard. Well, he swung right through with us and committed himself. Banga. And even though it's a false shot, it's gone all the way to the fence for 4. And he goes to 49.
And that's short. Carl Hooper deciding that he doesn't need the forward short leg. So Sarwan is taken out of that position. He goes to a short backward square. Perhaps there for the top-edged sweep. Well, it was a top-edged sweep or a top-edged pike towards the mid-wicket region that went down to third man. That's his 50. Second 50 for Sanjay Banga.
marked contrast to his partner Shawag, who was on 129 at 50. Has come up in 177 balls and just 4 fours and at 1-6.
Before this innings, Sanjay Banga had a 50% conversion rate of 50s to 100s. Has 100 under 50 before this, his second 50, possibly carrying this one on for his second century. So 3 occasions now that he has gotten to this landmark, Sanjay Banga.
Just look at that strike rate, 28.2 as opposed to Shawag's at 70.7.
Ramirez saw one at short backward square.
Interesting stat on the offside. There's so many subcontinent players, so good through the league side, very wristy. And with the nature of the slow surface and how much the bowling is really being either too wide on off stump or just too straight and being picked off on the league side, Bunga, 64% of those boundaries through the offside. And then that glorious straightest drive over long off, all the way.
Cooper going round the wicket for this last ball in this comeback over. 187 without loss.
Worldwide airfares at incredibly low prices from Southall Travel, now offering you holidays of a lifetime to Dubai, including flights, accommodations, guided tours on the Dow Cruise, Desert Safari and the Gold Soup. If you find a cheaper holiday with the same itinerary within 24 hours of making a booking, we will refund the difference or your money back. For Dubai holidays discounted, call Southall Travel 24 hours a day on 0870 900 3000 for a cheaper way to fly.
The overs bowled. Mervyn Dillon to continue. Still keeping 2 slips in place. Carl Hooper has to try and keep a couple of attacking fielders. Emphasis is still on trying to take a wicket. Well, no, he has decided to change that again. He's taking 1 slip out. He himself has come out of that slip cordon to come to a short extra cover. Man at cover goes quite a bit deeper. And a very easy single to the man at cover.
Just wonder here, Hooper will probably go back into slip for Banga. But therein lies the problem, Mikey. I was discussing this with Ravi Shastri earlier on in the day, is that neither Dillon or Cuffy have that natural bit of swing away or, you know, prodigious movement that goes in the air a bit back in. It tends to be a little bit back in, and that angle, because they're so wide on the crease, and it just nips back into right-handers. And good players at the highest level will just hang around and put you away.
That came off the bottom of the bat into the slip cordon. Oh, serious appeal there from Mervyn Dillon. Just got just a touch excited.
So very wide of the crease. This one wide of off stump, but full, and really no hint of reverse swing there, which we saw from Pedro Collins, the left armour. Went for the Yorker, got a little excited there, Mervyn Dillon.
That's down the third man, and the third man is pretty wide, but Pedro Collins does manage to come around. No, it's not Pedro Collins, it's way behind.
There again, just not enough deliveries put in the zone. You see the line, it's the bounce that's deceived the batter. Got big on Banga, but we just haven't seen enough of it. You see Dillon, he's pretty mid-crease fairly wideish, nice high action, but he's either been a little bit too short, a little bit too wide of off stump, and then he's got a little bit too straight, and hence that scoreboard for India.
Simpler task on this occasion for away behinds. Not as animated the crowd at the moment as they were this morning. It's getting hotter. Have to conserve the energy. .61 overs bowled, 191 without loss.
Well, so much is made around the world today, Mikey, that there just aren't patrons coming to Test match cricket. Well, this is the home of Sachin Tendulkar, admittedly, in Mumbai, and the crowd has steadily built up. Very, very impressive here at Wankhede Stadium. Good crowd, and of course the sun has gone further across the stadium, gone a little bit lower as the day wears on, so lots of shade, lots of cover here, and a really good turnout for a Wednesday.
That's it there. Dropped. Nothing is going in the way of the West Indies. Cameron Coffey at mid-off.
Well, to be perfectly honest, with the heads bowed, he never looked like catching this. Now he's gone through with it, Bunga, and he got there, but never really looked comfortable. And in the end, I'm sorry, that's a shocker.
Almost seems as if it went straight through. Must have brushed something. It certainly was a shocker. We're expected to take those at first class level, never mind the test level.
Gee, Mikey, you'd want your 12-year-olds to take those, wouldn't you, on a Saturday morning?
Well, West Indies in dire straits. Things haven't gone their way. They had an opportunity earlier on with caught behind being turned down, but they have also been their own problem. That dropped catch and missed run out by way behinds when Cameron Coffey was the fielder on that occasion.
Yeah, it's a cruel game, isn't it? Because it's a day that the ball follows you. Things don't go well. They just get worse. And this is a lovely stroke for one.
They have records, Danny. Another record has gone down. Record for the first wicket previously at this Wankhede Stadium against all comers was 192, India versus Australia. First innings of the 6th test match in 79-80. Well, that has gone now. Previously held by Sunil Gavaskar and Chetan Chauhan. Another Gavaskar record bites the dust. Sehwag and Banga now the holder of that record. That's another boundary. Made it look so simple. Seemed to be beaten initially, but just got enough bat on ball.
And aren't they loving it here? Very, very cheeky. Started to run away the other way and just bounced and went. But he's in such good touch. Sehwag now gone to 136. There's a bouncing arm ball that seemed to go away from the outside edge, the right-hander. Just adjusted and dabbed it beautifully to third man.
Certainly some fantastic start by India to this test series. 199 without loss. 62 over bowled, 199 without loss.
ओह माँ, काम के बाद लड़कियाँ घर आ रही हैं। मैंने कहा मैं उनके लिए चिकन करी बनाऊंगी, लेकिन अब मुझे नहीं मालूम मुझे क्या करना है।
अच्छा लिखो, पहले तो लेना अदरक।
आप जिस काम के लिए भी अपना फोन इस्तेमाल करें,
One slip. Leg by brings up 200.
In the context of day one of a test match and a slow surface, it's been a little bit up and down. The bounce has been variable. 3.22 is really useful, but no surprises when India have lost a wicket. And you've got Sehwag, 137 with 24 fours and 2 sixes. 52 ball 50 for that fourth one.
Much too short. Signalled as a wide by umpire David Shepherd.
And rightly so. It was almost tennis ball that was just so short. And, bounced well in his own half, Mervyn Dillon. Oh yes, that's on a good 3 or 4 or 5 feet over Bunga's head. Sanjay Bunga, no chance of playing that, so rightly so. David Shepherd. Good effort from Ridley Jacobs. Pull that one in.
Sanjay Banga just going about his job quietly. 55 from 186 deliveries.
Would Viv Richards have any? I know he's chairman of selectors. Would he keep right out of the way in terms of perhaps that tea break? Or just leave it up to the skipper to do his thing and his job, and perhaps just individually pop in and perhaps see the odd guy in the break?
Caught. Finally, the West Indies take a wicket. Ramdhar Sawan, the man at square leg.
Well, it's almost slow motion. Expected the ball to be picked up out by the rope somewhere. But Sanjay Banga couldn't keep this one down. And in the end, West Indian fielders have taken off a smart catch. Sawan takes the catch. Bunga's gone for 55, and India lose their first wicket at 2:01.
200 for one. But as we have said on so many occasions, the longest journey starts with the first step, and here is the first step.
Oh, what a great delivery to write home about. Was always angling down the leg side, and credit to the fielder, Sawan, staying alert, hanging in there, 201 without loss, and he's pulled in a smart catch, really. Merv Dillon's happy. Consolation after some hard work. He's into his 13th over, he's 1 for 29.
Immediately with the fall of that wicket, Carl Hooper has gone as a bit more attacking. 2 slips and the gully now in place.
He's done very, very well in recent times, and that's the series versus England. 100 average, best of 217, 300s, 150, and 600 run aggregate against the dear old Englishman. As of course a lot of you will appreciate and know that he's played a lot for Kent over the years. Great average for this year as well. Another over completed here at Wankhede. India have lost their first one. It's 2:01 for 1.
2:01 for 1, 63 overs bowled, and Carl Hooper makes another bowling change. He's certainly ringing the changes, Carl Hooper, trying desperately to take wickets. He has taken one, looking for the second. Mahendra Nagamoto comes back into the attack from the Tata end, coming round the wicket to Sehwag.
Ball.
A little defensive. There's no doubt about that. He's got long on back. Nagamoto. Just trying to get into middle leg.
It's gone for that. It's gone straight down, just falling short of Wavell Hines.
Prepared to take you on. All these Indian batsmen. There's a man on the fence there. It's not going to stop Sehwag. Ends up mishitting it. He was trying to drag that a bit wider. And Pedro Collins way out on the long on fence. Got away with it. And now back to more of an orthodox field change for Dravid. Sorry, it was Wavell Hines out there at mid-on.
To 7.8 kilometers per hour.
Again.
102 kilometers per hour, getting quicker.
You've been coaching him, isn't he a spinner?
The ball.
That's better.
When you think Shane Warne, isn't he? He's usually around between 80 and 85, always sort of around that sort of pace. So much flatter and quicker through the air. Nagamoto. End of the over, 202 for 1.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ, मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई.
Vintage stuff from Dravid this year. Very, very talented. Last 4 years, 190, remember that? Against New Zealand, and 200 they're not out. His averages are good, aren't they? 48, 78, 46.75, and this year, 67.7 for an overall average of 54.5. In anyone's language, that is top draw. Class act.
No.
If you have a look at that batting lineup, there's still another young man to come after him in his 101st Test match on his home ground. He'll be looking to impress. Sachin Tendulkar.
The 101st Test match, the opening of the Sachin Tendulkar stand here with Wankhede. Looking very relaxed.
.203 for 1. Just over half an hour in this last session played so far. Run rate up 4 runs per over. Another no ball from a spinner. Very disappointing, as I said before, but in the commentary box now we've got Sanjay Manjrekar and with him Arun Lal.
Thank you very much, Michael. around the wicket, a leg spinner. And Sehwag has gone all the way, is it? Yes, straight in the stands, yet again. He doesn't bother just clearing the ropes. He goes into the stands, Virendra Sehwag, so another 6 for him.
Just look at the contact on that ball. Bang. And the good thing is that he picks his spots, Sanjay. He's got the gaps so perfectly marked in his mind. He's playing the gaps. He's very deliberately playing the gaps.
That's something could call getting carried away, but who knows? That could be another shot that he'll develop very soon. Haven't seen him play that shot too often.
But then he realized that it was so far outside the leg stump and let it go. He wasn't totally committed. What a fabulous innings this has been. From the word go. He's really been at the bowling. He's so positive in his intent. This is the reverse. This is the 6 that he played so successfully. And what he's done is he's not allowed the spinners who were supposed to be playing a major role in this innings, not given them any chance to settle down, especially Nagamuttu, who's their main spinner. This is his 4th spell and he's only into his 11th over. He's bowled 3 spells before this of 3 overs each, just not allowing him to settle down.
And it's something, to be honest, Arun, that hasn't surprised me. Mahendra Nagamuttu is just a bit too quick in the air, and a first day pitch doesn't have enough for him. And against a skillful batting lineup like the Indians, especially against spinners, he's got to do more than that. At the moment he's just looking to fire in the balls in the right place, hoping that he won't get hit, won't give away too many runs. Although it's difficult for somebody who hasn't bowled too much in this part of the world, or hasn't bowled maybe as often to batsmen like Sehwag, but he's got to explore his talents more, try a few things. Captain wants a wicket from him desperately. He's got to search within himself for something more. Very quickly now he's in reach of 150. Taking room to play on the offside. Really a bold batsman when it comes to stroke making. 212 for 1.
तुम अपनी पसंद का खाना खाओ, मैं कुछ कॉल्स करके आई।
ये BT Together के मुफ्त
Whether it's my imagination or it's the wicket, but certainly Mark Dillon is looking a lot quicker off the surface. That last bouncer wasn't quick, but there's been some deliveries which have carried nicely to the keeper.
Yes, and I've also felt, Sanjay, that they haven't really exploited this part of his cricket, really. You know, the short delivery. They could have tried it a lot more, kept, just for a change, kept a deep square leg, made him go for the hook. And we know that, to start with, we know that he is somebody who likes to pull and hook.
They basically try anything to get a wicket. That's what Test match is all about. Can't keep the runs down. They said small grounds, batting pitch. And you talked about the short pitch delivery. Now that is one ball that troubled him in the morning when he was new at the crease. Surprise short delivery, straight on the helmet.
Yes, he is a natural hooker and puller of the ball, and maybe a little hesitation there whether to leave it or to go for the hook. Just got caught in between. Couldn't get under it quick enough. But I would have felt that after having that kind of an experience, a psychological advantage, they would have exploited that area a lot more. Like you said, there's got to be quick changes in Test cricket. You've got to abandon plan A if it's not working, get into plan B, maybe attack his leg stump, maybe just do anything else to disturb him. He is terrific on the rise on that off stump, and when the ball is not really doing very much off the wicket, coming slow enough, then he can be devastating, as they know to their cost.
It's a good point you make about abandoning plans, trying new ones. A master of that was from West Indies, Courtney Walsh, who bowled on Indian pitches a lot. I in fact played against him on this very pitch at the Wankhede Stadium, and every spell he would try something different. If it wasn't working, just bowling the line and length, if nothing was happening, he would come round the wicket, bowl it into your ribs, set a field on the leg side. Basically, try and explore all possibilities to pick up a wicket, and conveying very strongly to the batsman that I'm here to pick up wickets. And I think that is where perhaps the West Indies have lagged. They haven't really put pressure enough on the Indians as far as wicket taking is concerned.
Or at least you can't fault them on line and length. It's Merv Dillon's fastest delivery 143, the slowest 111 thereabouts, an average of 133.7. But you did get the impression that he wasn't going all out ever. Maybe in this spell he is working up a bit of a pace. He's got a wicket, and that's probably what's spurring him on. But at least he's been very consistent in his line and length.
He's certainly been economical, Merv Dillon, and of course picked up that wicket of Sanjay Bangar. He was looking to nip one off the hips. He was caught at square leg by Sawan. You can see there, quite economical, Merv Dillon in his 15th over. Pedro Collins had a good spell with an older delivery, the older ball. It was reverse swinging for him. But the spinners basically have been very disappointing for West Indies. Was that an edge? They've gone up in appeal, and the finger goes up. So David Shepherd reckons there was a fine nick on that one. So Virendra Sehwag is departing towards the pavilion, and the crowd is stunned for a while, but they rise now because they're aware that Sehwag is going to be replaced by Sachin Tendulkar. But a great innings has come to an end.
Really, what a wonderful innings, and what a sorry end to it. Down the leg side, maybe that faint nick on brushing off his pad, and well taken by Ridley Jacobs. So 147, a magnificent 100, one he'll remember for a long time. It's now 213 for 2.
और अब फोन करती
Crowd are not too displeased with that dismissal either, but eventually they did give him a standing ovation too. But the first thing on everybody's mind was, this is what's going to bring in Sachin Tendulkar. Absolute heartthrob here.
Yes, when the catch was taken and David Shepherd raised the finger, there was a stunned silence, and that knowledge immediately dawned on them. That will bring Tendulkar in his 101st Test match. A record that is quite staggering. 57.97 is the average, and I reckon if at all there is any milestone that he has, there are a few which are in handshaking distance, but I think he will really aim for that average of 60 when he comes to the end of his Test career. I just get the feeling that would be his next target, next ambition once he reaches the other milestones of 11,000 runs and 34 Test hundreds.
Just the 100 in Bombay. This is the wicket. It went straight off the bat, the inside edge. Pretty sorry end. That should have been away for runs. Just got a tickle onto it.
And you've got to say this is a very good catch. One-handed. Left-handed catch by Ridley Jacob, and you're quite right. There was a little bit of bat, and then maybe a flick of the pads on the way to the wicket-keeper, so may not have travelled as quickly. That made it a little simpler for Jacobs, but good reactions shown by the West Indies wicket-keeper. So during the change of batsmen, the drinks were taken. The Tendulkar has been there for close to 5 minutes, hasn't faced a ball.
Just a window of an opportunity here for the West Indies. Suddenly 2 wickets down, 2 new batsmen at the crease, and you have your main bowler who's now steaming in. They can once again come and attack the batsman, not just wait for the batsman to make the mistake. So an opportunity for Nagamutu too.
Rahul Dravid, the man in form, has hit a purple patch in his career. Phenomenal batting series against England. 200s, a double 100. Must be feeling supreme in confidence. There you are.
Suddenly the entire atmosphere is perked up. The West Indies are a lot sprightlier there. There's hope again. There's a little bit of a spring in their walk. They're throwing themselves around. One more wicket here. And who knows, they could be back into the game.
I just wonder whether Nagamutu has given up the idea of bowling the orthodox leg spinners. Seems to be just pushing the ball through. There again. No intention of spinning the ball. Maybe on instructions of captain, keep the runs down at your end. Let's attack with the medium pacer from the other end. But those genuine leg spinners are not coming off the hand at the moment. He's played it fine, used the pace of the bowler. 4 more to India. And first boundary for Dravid.
At the speed that he's bowling, close to 100 kilometers per hour, very little margin for error. Slightly wavered, drifting towards that leg stump, and that was taken full toll off. You really can't afford to bowl at that speed and not be bang on the stumps. That's a lot better. Got to let it hang in the air a bit. The fastest ball has been at 103.5. That's pretty quick. The average is also close to 93. It's got to be a lot slower to get any purchase from this wicket. It's 217 for 2.
और आप फोन करती रहे.
On 3 occasions in that test series against West Indies. Well, you average close to 60, but this is how the West Indians welcome their batsmen at the crease.
Must take a lot out of the bowler to get the ball to come up on a wicket like this. Merv Dillon has tried a few, but way too high, way too short to bother Sachin. He's into his 16th over, 2 for 30. Very complimentary figures, but just not enough successes for the West Indies other than these two. Quite easily done again, but if there are any youngsters watching on, this is tremendous technique. Just take a look, eyes riveted on the ball, just dropping the wrists, letting the ball go very close to the body. Very well done.
Predictable approach towards batting these days for Tendulkar. Always watchful at the start. Looks absolutely perfect when he plays the drives in front of the wicket. Now a bowler is always told to bowl the off-stump line and just outside the off-stump. Now Merv Dillon has picked up 2 wickets, the 2 wickets to have fallen. Bangar just outside leg stump, that line straight to square leg, Ram Naresh Sarwan. And the next man to go was Virendra Sehwag, again outside the leg stump.
Point received, Sanjay, but and these are probably the 2 deliveries, maybe just another couple that he's bowled on the leg stump. He's been so tight with that off-stump line. Do you think he heard you and tried that deliberately?
So you reckon that one should stick to the off-stump line in spite of what we saw, 2 catches being taken down the leg side? But you're quite right, because he's been around the off-stump, the odd delivery down the leg side, batsman.
They're lethal on the leg stump, off their pads. They just don't let anything get away. But not today.
Merv Dillon, the only wicket taker for West Indies. Right from the first over that he bowled today, he's taken a lot of time to come back to his bowling mark. He knows he's the strike bowler of the team. He's conserved his energy. A bit of late swing for Ridley Jacobs. Over gone, 218 for 2.
crowd waiting expectantly for some stroke play from Sachin. He's going to take his time. He's waited a long time, and invariably sitting outside waiting for your turn is quite sapping on the mind. Taking some time to get used to the conditions out there in the middle.
Has left the field, and Nagamutu bowling at this stage to two new batsmen may not be a great idea. Obviously Hooper is expecting more from seamers, so he's trying to use them sparingly from one end, but this is the time to get at the new batsmen, especially they're Dravid and Tendulkar. Your best chance is to put pressure immediately when they are at the crease.
Yes, but to compound his problems, Merv Dillon's just gone off the field. It's obvious that he's trying to get his seamers to be bowling from one end. It is already the 70th over, so they must be tired. And he's going to attack from one side with his seamers. That's the substitute on Breeze for Merv Dillon.
He's found the gap. And he's got the first boundary, Tendulkar. Copybook cover drive.
Just the wee bit over pitching. Nagamutu giving him a little room outside the off stump. And he's bisected those fielders to perfection. Beautifully done. Not trying to hit it too hard. Directing it by opening his bat towards the gap. Playing with the spin.
Perhaps the best delivery that he's bowled. Nagamutu, it's turned sharply, pitched in the right area. The batsman was on to the front foot, but not quite to the pitch of the ball. A lot wider this time. I would have gone with two seamers just for about 10-15 minutes with Dravid and Tendulkar out there. Nagamutu is just not able to exert the same kind of pressure. In fact, the batsmen are looking to score some quick runs at the start against him. And the score now reads 2-2-2 for 2.
और आप फोन करती रहना. बाय. कौन सा? नबीला. अब वो बर्मिंघम में है.
BT Together से सिर्फ 18.50 प्रति माह चुकाने से, जिसमें लाइन.
And there's a bowling change. Cuffy comes in for Dillon.
Cameron Cuffy, much to my surprise, has been introduced. Thought Pedro Collins would have been a much more attractive proposition. He's somehow been able to trouble the master batsman Tendulkar in West Indies. And if at all there can be any pressure on the Indian batsman, it is now that has to be applied. Two slips for Cameron Cuffy. He's got three fielders in the covers, and of course they've got to have a third man fielder in this innings. Plenty of runs have been scored in that area, so even to a new batsman they've gone with a third man fielder, which is perfectly understandable.
No.
Just take a look. He's taken his eyes off the job at hand. He's almost giving a sideways glance to umpire Shepherd.
I think there was a bit of inside edge. So much to the relief of David Shepherd, a run scored, 223. No need to hop now, but interesting to see him with that sideways glance just at the point of delivery, almost as if he's looking at the square leg fielder, whether he's in the right position. There he goes.
But he does it every time. Just before delivery. Must ask him about it. He's been very, very tight around that off stump, but never been menacing. Bowled well within himself. I think they understood that there's not a lot in it for them in this wicket, and very quickly adjusted to bowling line and length, hoping that the batsman makes the error. Didn't happen for them. A few chances also went a begging. But they had got 2 wickets. They were searching for the third. Down the leg side, flicked fine, and that's 4.
Perhaps drawing inspiration from what Merv Dillon did to pick up those 2 wickets. Drifting down on leg side and deliberately played fine. Good use of the wrist to make sure that it was played much to the right of that fielder, a deep fine leg for the boundary. This time it's gone squarer, which means it's gone straight to breeze. Brings up the end of the over. It's 2:27 for 2. Nagamutu will continue. Tendulkar is batting on 9 with 2 boundaries. That score. Trying for a change in the commentary box. It's going to be Ian Bishop within Ravi Shastri.
Thank you, Sanjay. .228 for 2. 2 wickets have fallen since the tea break. Both the openers dismissed, Sanjay Bangar and Virendra Sehwag. Good opportunity for the West Indies really to try and claw back into this contest. They've got 2 relatively new players at the crease. What they need, Ian, really is some discipline at this stage for the next half an hour or so.
I agree with that. With Sachin Tendulkar there, I was just thinking about Pedro Collins having a couple of overs that in very early before he gets set. Pedro Collins did seem to have the one-up on Sachin Tendulkar during the West Indies tour. He got him dismissed on a number of occasions.